Troy Ave is a polarizing figure. He's not the most likable person, and that's due to him mocking someone's suicide, calling Kendrick and Kanye weirdos, bullying McConan, sounding a lot like 50 Cent, and his almost delusional perception of himself. But I want to attempt the impossible. I'm gonna make Troy Ave likable, and in order to do that, I have to change your mind on several Troy Ave opinions. Like number 1, he's confident and not arrogant. Now I know all this talk about restoring the feeling of the 90s is pretty bold considering it was a self-proclaimed mantra, but Troy's received a lot of support from iconic artists and moguls from that golden era. With all this talk about the loss of basic rap fundamentals, why wouldn't he raise his hand and state his case as the torchbearer of that sound? Number 2, he's inspirational. You gotta remember where some people come from, the circumstances and the people that they dealt with before the fame. I'm about to play you a clip that's a bit of a strange watch considering Troy's current situation, but listen up.
I don't do this for those people. My nigga, I'm winning. I got people that call me from jail like, yo, my nigga, I remember when I went in and you was grinding and you still going, and they facing life or 7.5 years trying to get appeals, and they like, nigga, you giving me the strength to keep going because I see if you keep going. I play my whole album for my dog on the phone, 15-minute calls and 7-minute calls. He had to keep calling back, and they like, yo, you giving us hope in here, like real shit.
That part can't be taken away from you.
I make my music for them.
Troy Ave is from an area in Brooklyn called Crown Heights, right there. It's currently becoming gentrified, but over the past 15 years, it wasn't exactly the safest place in the city. What from afar appeared to be just another street dude on the come up was a beacon of hope for some. Regardless of how you feel about Troy's music, he fed and inspired people with it. If that wasn't enough, I'd like to offer you number 3. He didn't mean the capital Steez comments. Actually, that was pretty fucked up, and I can't even play devil's advocate on that one. Number 4, the meaning behind weirdo rappers. Troy would consider himself a lyricist, but I think this is just a lack of vocabulary. If the term weirdo rapper is simply stating how unique and different an artist is, can anyone argue he isn't right about Kanye? As far as I'm concerned, it only means Troy doesn't understand what makes him special, and that could be explained by the very next reason that you should like Troy Ave. Number 5, he's a purist. For all you elites who can't listen to anything outside of a DJ Premier production, Troy's feelings are similar to yours. Someone like Designer would be a sure target for Troy Ave criticism, considering the fact that they're from the same borough but don't sound alike. Let me make this as simple as possible. If you think the market is overflooded with too much turn up and trap rap, Troy agrees with you. And lastly, he could be a victim. I'll use the term victim very loosely. Let me explain. Media personality and provocateur Tax Stone has admittingly harassed Troy for years.
What did I do? I bothered him for 5 years, like just on social media, just calling him out on different things, you know what I mean? He likes to bully like little scrawny white people, but when it come to, dudes this, he think could take him on, he falls back. So I think at this point he decided to attack me after 5 years of attacking him is because
Troy even released a diss track against him.
Twitter fingers, how many times you gonna tweet me? I'm always on the flyer, guess you too scared to meet me. 80,000 with my ears and my wrist and neck. If you tough, I dare you take it, you can use this check.
But let's fast forward to the shooting footage where Tax Stone has been rumored to be spotted running right there. The alleged reports of Troy not only shooting his friend, himself, and killing one person seem very unlikely to me. If no other videos are released, wouldn't it be logical to assume that the person who's been provoking you for years may have initiated the conflict? Troy and his lawyer are currently pleading self-defense. Until then, the media loves the limited information and a rapper with a gun in hand. And look, he's not the greatest guy. At the very least, he endangered the lives of many innocent people. But what drove Troy to be so unlikable has a lot to do with him having to sell himself. And yes, he overshot it. But being an asshole doesn't make you deserving of spending half your natural life in prison. Being stupid and using poor judgment does. Hopefully, you can differentiate the two.
But when a nigga goes from not doing to doing, what can you tell him? Not to be a nigga. Shit, I gots to be a nigga. That's how I pay the bills. And I'ma do that whether I got to sling this coke or exploit these rhyme skills. See, America makes you an opportunist. And at the same time, they institutionalize you. So the fact that niggas get these big record deals, big money, and then go to jail shouldn't surprise you. That's what lies do. And most of these guys do have raw talent, just infantile education. So the business feeds them all the weed and ecstasy and a little bit of paper to provide some pacification.